Well, good morning, everyone. It's Jerry Hart here, and welcome to the latest March 2011 Practical Tax Update webinar from 2020. Right, UK tax resident status, new developments. This is a very frustrating topic, and what's happened recently is not going to make it any easier, unfortunately. It is very frustrating, I think we all agree, that for such an important status, i.e. whether you are resident, let alone ordinarily resident, it's very frustrating that there is no statutory definition, although we do have to be wary of pushing for statutory definitions, which, by the way, do apply in most countries, because the chances are they'll make it more restrictive than at the moment. What's happened now is that we've got a revised version of HMRC 6, the guidance which covers residence, domicile and remittance bases, and this, of course, replaced the infamous IR20. Well, they revised this guidance, but the revenues say they are still considering a number of issues which have been raised in discussion with them, basically case law we're talking about, in respect of this important expression, full-time work abroad. Because as we know, one of the ways of becoming non-resident, this may not be the reason someone's doing this, but one of the ways of achieving that status is to be abroad. Frustration is not going to be eased by what's happened recently in the Grace case. This follows hard on the heels of the Gaines-Cooper case, which we've covered before, and this is the Grace case involves a BA pilot who, at the end of the day, although it may not be at the end of the day, this may have more legs in it, but at the moment anyway, he's failed in a long drawn-out attempt to demonstrate that he did lose his UK resident status. And what happened is that he went all the way up to the Court of Appeal. It was then referred back to the first tier tribunal, who decided against the taxpayer, and that's in Tax Chambers reference 00913. So obviously it may not be the end of it. Now in TC 00913, let's have a look at the facts, or the background I should say. Mr. Grace was present for part of the tax year in the UK for the purpose of his employment. He owned and occupied a property both in the UK and also in South Africa, and he set up home in Cape Town, but at the same time he continued his employment with BA and retained a property in the UK. It wasn't until 2004